Hey there, friend, what's happening? Vitaliy Dubinin is here, and I'm super pumped right now because I'm about to interview the legend in the home business industry, multiple seven-figure income earner, and my personal millionaire mentor, Darren Little, otherwise known on the internet as the MLM superhero. And this guy helped me to go from 10,000 a month to 50,000 a month, which I'm forever grateful. He is a legend in the industry, 26 years of experience. How are you doing, Darren?
Vitaliy, I am doing fantastic, and thank you for having me on this interview. I'm pretty excited.
That's awesome. Well, I've known you for over a year now. We met at live events several times in the United States, and I always wanted to know, what is your secret? Like, how are you doing it? But it was not only until July 15th where I actually started working with you personally, and you told me, Vitaliy, I'm going to change your life. I've took people and helped them, go from homeless to multiple six-figure income. I took people and helped them rise to the top of the leaderboards in the companies. I can help you totally transform your life. I said, Darren, I believe in you. Let's do it. Let's show me how it works. So you showed me a strategy, and I said to you, Darren, if I'm going to make 15,000 in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be happy. You said, you can do it, man. I ended up making $26,000 this very first 2 weeks. I'm like, holy cow, I mean, this works, So this is something that I want to bring in and provide massive value in this interview, and really, share with people what is really possible and how does it work, how people can go from literally a flat start with zero to no experience on the internet and start creating 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 and more dollars per month as I witness it happening. Tell me, Darren, what do you think are some of the challenges that the industry as a whole face, like the home business industry? What are the challenges that people face?
Well, I mean, that's a really good question, Vitaliy, and I will share with you that here's the biggest challenge. You've got realtors, mortgage brokers, insurance agent, automotive industry, and retail, okay? And television commercials.
Right.
And all of that business model as a global, sort of model comes from a world of features and benefits, of trying to convince people that you have what they need, right? And that's a big problem, because that's all that people know, right? That's all they know. They don't know anything else. So when they get into their MLM, their direct sales company, their affiliate marketing company, their body, their polarity of their body, okay, their magnet, is actually set to repel. It's set to repel people, and they don't know this when they get in, okay? So our business model is not real estate, mortgage broker, insurance agent, automotive, or retail. It's not that business model, okay? So if you're in real estate, it's, there's 3 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, X amount of square feet. It's got a view. It's got a double garage, right? If you're in a mortgage broker, it's all about the payment terms, the interest rate. If you're in insurance, same thing. It's about the payment terms, the return. If you're in the automotive industry, it's about, power steering, power brakes, all-wheel drive, 5-speed, manual, automatic, right? If you're in retail, typically the focus is on what the consumer is going to get as their benefit, right? The features and the benefits of the product. Have I got a deal for you? It can download. It's got this amount of memory, right?
Exactly.
Or if
Yeah.
selling a nutraceutical product, I look better. I feel better. I'm sleeping better. You got to try my product. I'm not interested. That's typically what happens, right? Now, our particular business model, a lot of people don't know this until they're probably about 30 to 90 days in, sometimes even longer, is that we're in a personal development leadership business model. It's not the same business model. So when I first got into this industry over 26 years ago, I came from that world. I came from the world of features and benefits. So, and my entry price for me to work with my millionaire mentor was $4,000. Okay. Now, I didn't have the money, believe me. I was like, that's like about 15 grand today, right?
Right.
So I was like, Harvey, I don't have $4,000. Here's what he said to me. He said, Darren, you want to become a millionaire? I said, absolutely. I want to be a billionaire. He said, you're going to have to surrender your pride, surrender your ego, and go get the money. Okay? He gave me 3 days. He said, if you can't come up with $4,000 by Friday, find yourself another millionaire mentor. And he turned around and he walked to his office. Right? Literally, I was like standing there. I was like, and right then I knew that he knew something. He knew something that I needed to know, right, to become a millionaire. So I figured it out. I figured it out.
You came up with the 4,000?
Every penny that I had in my bank account. I got a loan from my parents. I got a loan from the bank. And I went in with a bank draft for $4,000. Okay?
Wow.
So imagine this. I'm sitting there and I signed my distributor application form. I slide it across the desk.
That's like you were in your 20s, right?
I was in my 20s, yeah. And he said, so imagine this. I'm a newbie. I'm a rookie, right? I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm pretty good at sales, right? Conventional selling.
Right.
So I'm kind of like the young whippersnapper, right? I think, I got this all figured out, right? So he says, Darren, rule number 1, you want to become a millionaire? Absolutely. Are you coachable? Absolutely. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. I don't want you talking about our company. I was like, well, how's that going to work? Right? How am I going to sell these if I can't talk about the company that made these?
Exactly.
He says, rule number 2, I don't want you talking about our product. I was like, what?
You just paid $4,000 and he's like, you cannot talk about the company, you cannot talk about the products.
Exactly. So I was literally, I had butterflies in my stomach dropped to my knees. Okay. And I was looking at my bank draft on the other side of the table, and the only thing that I could think about Vitaliy was how long was it going to take me to go to the bank to put stop payment on my draft, right? Because I thought what we were doing must be illegal.
Right.
It would have to be illegal. Why? How could you sell these products without talking about them and without talking about the company that made the products? Okay.
So what did he say? Like, what's the purpose that he said that?
He said, Darren, you're going to have to go through a paradigm shift. You're going to have to look at the world differently. So he said, what's behind you right now? And I said, the wall. He said, can you see the wall right now? I said, no. He said, turn your chair all the way around. So I turned it all the way around. He said, what do you see? I said, the wall. He said, well, the wall was there the whole time. You just couldn't see it. It's like your blind spot. So I said, Harvey, let me understand this. If I can't talk about the company, I can't talk about the products, what am I going to talk about? He said, Darren, if you want to become a millionaire, talk about them. I was like, what? How the heck am I going to sell this by talking about them? Okay. And that was a major paradigm shift. That's the polarity of the magnet, right? So if I'm pitching the person and trying to convince them that they need what I have, push back, okay? What he said to me is, he said, Darren, if you want to make big money, make the conversation all about the other person. What's their vision? What's their dream? What's their pain? What's their problem? What's their passion? If you focus on that, the business opportunity becomes the vehicle that's going to get them there. So it becomes secondary, okay? Now, luckily, I was coachable. Luckily, because my very first month, I just followed his rules that he put in place. I did $40,000 in sales.
First month?
First month.
Wow.
My very first month. And by the time I hit 35 years old, I made my first $1 million. Okay. Now here's the interesting thing. The skills are transferable. Now, what does that mean? That means that I took the skills that I learned from that network marketer and I took them into real business to raise tens of millions of dollars, to take companies as high as $100 million market cap, all based upon what I learned from that millionaire mentor. And it has nothing to do with the products, nothing to do with the company, nothing to do with the comp plan, nothing to do with your antioxidants and your ORAC value and all the rest of the stuff that people are out there pitching. The people send you these 6-paragraph exposés on their company.
Right.
You don't get the business model, right? Because the way that you connect with another person is to find out what's going on in their life. Are they in a peak? Are they in a valley? Do they have any pain? Do they have any problem? Are they or are they not living their passion? And once you focus on the other person, the polarity changes in the magnet and you become the attractor factor. So what I got very, very good at in networking events, going to trade shows or whatnot, was to be able to make a lasting impression on a person. Okay, so you do that by being able to change their state, by being able to build rapport, finding things in common with them.
Right.
And if you can find 3 things in common with a person in 5 minutes, they like you. They don't even know why. It's natural human instinct. So I started to perfect that skill. And what I learned was that it wasn't about anything that I was marketing. It was about the connection. And when you get this with people, they naturally want to do business with you. It's a phenomenon. It's an absolute phenomenon. So what happened over the course of the 26 years of raising money and being put into situations where, I'll tell you where I really started mastering these skills, Vitaliy, was in a phone room. Okay?
Oh, really?
And I was given a list of investors, okay, and I had to call the number. And a lot of times I had to get through first level of secretary, then to the executive assistant, then to the guy that could, cut a check for $500,000 or $250,000. So you get very, very good at this very fast. Trust me. Right? Because if I didn't master it, I didn't eat.
Right. You were working on commissions back then.
Yeah. So, when you're up against a rock and a hard place, pressure makes the diamond, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't have any choice. So I started to get very, open up all my senses to listen to the top people, to the top closers, to the guys that were, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000. So I started listening to tone, inflection, into what they were saying to these people to break the ice, to get into that, to access the vault. I call it accessing the vault.
Yeah.
And once you learn these skills, not only will you never have to worry about money again for the rest of your life, but your relationships change, your marriage gets better, your friendships get better, your people literally want to give you things for free. So I got, free trips to Club Med, designer clothing given to me for free. People would give me their hotel rooms if I put on an event in their hotel room. Promotional materials, advertising posters, balloons, chocolates. People literally gave me stuff. They just gave it to me because of these skills that I had learned when I was in my 20s from that millionaire mentor.
That makes totally sense for me, because at one point in time I had this paradigm shift, and when you look at entrepreneur, like what we do as entrepreneurs, we help people solve their problems. It's never about the product or the company. It's always about helping people get from point A, where they are right now, to point B, where they truly want to go. So what are those skills allow you to do? I know that you came on the internet. You know, the internet was just starting in 2000, like 5, 6, really, and you were already a millionaire by the age of 35. So you were able to come on the internet and create success online too, right?
Yeah, you know, and here was sort of the gateway for me, and it's a really interesting sort of, we all go through this personal development journey from where we are to where we need to get to is to be a leader, right? So the core focus of our industry really is about personal development, but I will share this with you, is that coming from a skill where I could walk into a room. Here's what my millionaire mentor said to me. He said, Darren, when people that are in conversations will stop and they will look the other way, that, my friend, is when you get this business.
Gotcha.
Because it all has to do with our, so the closest thing that I could have to that was Facebook. Because Facebook is like a gigantic lounge.
Right.
It's like going to a party, right? So imagine if you walked into a lounge and there was like 10,000 people in this lounge. And you had this little computer device in your eye and you could go, right? And you could look at a person and then you could get download. You got download of the fact that they had 2 children, that they were married, that you knew about their favorite books, their favorite movies. You could see more about their life before you even talk to them.
Exactly. It's beautiful.
Oh my God. I mean, it's like, but the interesting thing was I didn't have a lot of technical skills. You know, like I never learned the computer. I still type with 2 fingers, like I'm a chicken pecker typer.
A lot of people say, "Oh my God, I'm so bad with technical. I can't succeed in this industry." You know.
Exactly. So I didn't have any of those skills. So when I first started, this is a true story. I had cold sweats at night for 90 days. I couldn't sleep. I had anxiety. I had vertigo, dizzy spells. And because looking at Facebook, you have all these rabbit holes, all these different little rabbit holes. And it took me 90 days to actually be able to just be calm looking at the screen. And it's kind of funny because now I spend so much time on the one thing that was sort of my, like, you know, the barrier, the wall for me, right? So, but I pushed through. I knew that if I could push through and get to that other side, that there was going to be the life of freedom over there. And that's really what happened. But here's the thing that you got to understand about Facebook. Facebook is social media. Social. That means that people really want to get to know you. They want to know about your likes, your dislikes, your passions, you know, the places that you go, the food that you like, you know, your family, your children. They really want to know the real you, the authentic you. Okay.
Right.
And a lot of people come onto the internet and they try to be someone. They put up kind of this, like, that's their ego. They put up this barrier, this front.
And mask.
It's not really them.
Right.
It's not really them, right? And there's this wall between, okay, here's you over here, okay? And there's this wall, this barrier, and here's your dream. And over here, you're trying to be someone. So you're in the head. You're oh my God, what, you know, I don't want people to judge me. I don't want people to laugh at me. I don't want, you know, so you're in your head over here. Over here, you're in your heart. You're the real you. You're the real you that people are going to actually get to connect with, okay? And that's a process. That's personal development. That's a process of just being able to sort of surrender your pride and your ego and yourself and just talk like you would normally talk to anybody.
Right.
So that is a learned skill, like anything, right? It's a learned skill, okay? Connecting with people, be able to break the ice or change their state, those are learned skills. But I can tell you that if you learn them, you will never, ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life, 100%. And I can tell you that from my personal experience, not from a textbook, not from going to a seminar, not from hearing it from somebody. I'm telling you from 26 years of actually doing it, of launching companies, raising money, launching network marketing companies, in this last 60 days has generated, I don't know, probably $160,000 in the last 60 days with all the different multiple income streams, US, right? So the exciting thing is this. Anybody, Vitaliy, can learn these skills. You don't need a big budget. You don't have to understand tech skills. You don't have to understand traffic. You don't have to understand ad campaigns. There's one thing that you have to understand. The number one commodity in business.
People. Right.
and once you really get this, man, I'm telling you, we got 17-year-old kids making $35,000 their first month. People that were in prison making $28,500 their very first month. Can you imagine that? Like, what would a person do coming out of prison to be able to go back to the real world? $28,500 month one by learning these strategies. And it's all about personal development. It's all about surrendering your problem.
Incredible. People who are working in constructions and struggling online, making nothing, making like $26,000 first month. I mean, it's stories like this. And like you said, it's transferable skills. And I think about Facebook like you do, like it's a huge networking party and there are millions and millions of people on the internet, right? And the number one skill that, like you said, people, that's what most people are never being really taught, the art of connection, the art of becoming the attractor factor, becoming the leader, step into your power, that kind of stuff. And that's why people go for years and years and they think they need to master all those automated traffic campaigns or they need to master all those technical skills over there, and they actually don't go and do the number one thing that will get them results, which is helping other people succeed, So I wanted to ask you, in your opinion, what are the majority of people out there are doing that are not making them results?
Pitching.
You got it right. Like they go and they post on social media and groups like, this is my deal, this is the hottest thing ever. And also like one-on-one, they say, join this business. It's got to change your life, right? It's not working.
Here's the problem, Vitaliy, is that, if you can relate this to real life. Okay. So, I go to a party. Okay, so I'm at this party and I'm dressed up to the nines. I got a tuxedo on and people are dressed up. Women have gowns on and it's black tie event, right? So I walk in the door and I kind of look around and I go, oh, check her out, right? She's really good looking, right? So I walk over to her, right, and I say, hey, how you doing? You want to get married? It doesn't work, right? That's not real life. So that's very, very similar to what people try to do with pitching their deal. So somebody will friend me on Facebook and they'll say, hey, check out my deal, right? It's like, who are you? I don't even know you, right?
Yeah.
So people need to understand that relationships take time. Just like, putting on suntan lotion. So you take suntan lotion, you go, right? And now it's a white blob. And then you rub it, it's a white streak. And then you rub it again, still a white streak. You got to rub it back and forth like this. And then, after about 10 or 12 times of rubbing back and forth, it goes into the skin. It absorbs into the skin like osmosis. That's relationships. So relationships actually take between 5 and 12 connections to be able to get to where you can just be yourself, right? So the power of Facebook, if you use this type of formula, is that our industry is a personal development leadership business model. That's the core of our business model. But what you have to understand as a leader is the leader wants to solve the pain of the marketplace. That's what leaders do.
Yeah.
Okay? So if it's true, right, well, I'm pretty sure that it is, right, that 97% of the people that actually get into our industry fail, right?
Yeah.
You got to ask yourself, okay, what is their pain? What's the pain that they're going through? Well, they've been told to make a list of their friends and family, and that didn't work. Everybody told them to go fly a kite, right? So that didn't work. So they don't like harassing their friends and family. Huge pain, right? Yeah. And when they find out about a new opportunity, the first thing they think of, oh, I don't want to go back to my friends and family, okay? The second thing is that they hate getting rejected. Rejection is, it really affects your confidence and self-esteem.
Getting rejected.
Right? And if you're rejected over and over and over and over, it's like you start feeling, it's like you're beat up, right? Your shoulders start dropping and you're like, oh, well, here we go.
Emotionally beat up, yeah.
Right? So the next thing is that they don't know how to generate leads.
Right.
A lot of them don't have a marketing budget, right?
Yep.
They don't know how to, once they get the leads, to close those people or upsell them to higher ticket products, and they don't know how to get an ATM duplication. So as a leader, if you can provide the solution to those people, the 97%, there's tons of them,
yeah.
Right? You can provide the solution to their pain, guess what happens? You pull them in, okay? Now, if the value that you provide as a leader dwarfs the value that they're getting from their current leader, they jump ship and they join you. Pretty simple model.
It is.
It's a pretty simple model. But the challenge is that people are by nature lazy. By nature, they want to get rich quick. By nature, they want to make money overnight.
Right. Okay?
Now, can you make money overnight? Absolutely. If you're coachable, absolutely. Look at Robbie. He did $35,000 in his very first month. At 17 years old, he didn't have any reference to go back to. Like he surrendered his pride and ego, right? He just said, Darren, can you show me what to do? Absolutely. Just do this, this, and this. Okay. He did it. Okay. Now, my son, who's 16, who goes to school full-time and his homework every day, he implemented the strategies, and in 2 weeks, part-time, very part-time, he made over $2,000. So I asked myself, what are the people doing that are not able to make money? How about I got a deal for you? Check out my deal, right? That's not our industry, and that's why they fail so miserably. That's their problem, right? And it really takes a mentor to be able to tweak. It's just a little tiny tweak to understand about the polarity of the magnet.
And sometimes, people go and think that investing higher amounts into products is going to be their solution, ultimately. If I only just put in more dollars into the business, if I drain everything that I have, and then I put in some automations and drive some traffic, and the systems are going to do all the work for me, they're going to follow up, they're going to close the sales, I just need to lay back, drink my pina coladas on the beach, push the button, send the traffic, pay the money, and it will flow. I mean, does it really work like that?
Here's the interesting thing is that it can, but you have to have a big budget in order to be able to do that. It can, right? People that think that with no money, they're going to be able to have that happen, they're completely out to lunch.
And right skills too, not just big budget, right skills.
You have, okay, so here's an example. Let's say that I've got a big budget, okay? And I am just going to drive massive traffic to the offer,
right?
Okay? But only a certain percentage of those people are actually going to buy right away. If I don't have any value that comes through my follow-up campaign, or if I don't have any value to be able to write good copy, right? Copywriting is a way to connect with the person through words.
Right.
And if I don't have that skill, now I'm driving all the traffic, but now I'm missing out on the whole follow-up campaign that I could be getting. And then if I don't bring those people back to corral them together to build a relationship with them through a personal development group on Facebook, and I don't have any content as a leader, I've got a revolving turnstile. Right, so I'm buying traffic, people are coming in, they're buying, they might last for 30 to 90 days, and then they quit, and then more people.
They're not making any money, they're not really plugged in, they're,
It's a revolving turnstile. But here's the interesting thing, is that it only takes, a lot of people don't know this, Vitaliy, right? I'm going to share this as like the insider secret, it's a seven-figure insider secret. It only takes between 6 and 8, that's it, okay, leaders that have a budget, have some skills, to never, ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life, okay? 6 to 8 leaders have a budget, that have some skills, to never, ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life. So people typically, when they're recruiting, they don't have high enough standards as to who they're looking for, because they'll take anybody, right? You have to get very, very clear on who are your perfect business partners. So when I talk about who my perfect business partners are, people go like, oh, right? Are you for real? Because my perfect business partners, their household income is $150,000 a year, minimum. Okay, minimum. Okay,
right.
They're typically business professionals. They're already in leadership, or they're marketers. They already have leadership skills, marketing skills. They already own their own home. A lot of them have their own vacation property. They own 2 cars. They take a minimum of 2 vacations per year. They have 2 children. Kids are going to college, right? They're coming up. They don't have that money. They don't have that college money, right, to put their kids through school. Or the couple is moving towards looking to retire, but they don't have enough money to retire, right? Or they're marketers that have a list, and they're in between network marketing companies. They already have the skills. Typically what happens is that people recruit victims. They have no skills, none, right? They have no skills. They're typically in a state of panic, and they have no budget. They've got no list, and then they wonder why their business never takes off. If you get clear on your perfect business partners and all of your marketing efforts go into attracting those 6 to 8 people, you can go like this, fast track, right? But in order to attract the one,
you need to become. You
gotta be the one.
Right.
You gotta be the one. And that's the personal development. That's what people understand. A leader is not going to join a newbie.
Right.
Typically. Any person that's a true leader is an A-type personality, and they go right to the top. They want to be with the leaders. They want to be with the peak performers. They want to be with the people that are making money, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what are the 7-figure income earners do, as opposed to most of the people out there?
7-figure income earners solve the pain and the problem of the market. Okay. They typically will focus on bringing groups of people together where they can provide value to those people. Okay, now that can be in a Facebook group, right, and where you got a contained unit.
Yeah.
It can also be on a conference call. It can be on a Hangout, or it can be on a Zoom recording like this.
Right.
But they're typically the people that they bring the people together, and then they give them a strategy that's going to help them solve their pain. That's what the leaders do, right? When a leader rolls out a business, they're not looking at the business for just themselves. Okay, and I'll give you an idea. So a person that's caught in their ego, right, as a leader, all they care about is they'll do their own campaign, they'll do their own promotion, they'll do their own traffic. That's all they care about. How much money are they going to make, right? But the true leader in our industry, they do everything for the team. So they do their team site for the team. They do the branding for the team. They do the training for the team. They make pages that have value on them for people that don't have value yet. And they allow that person to put their username on the end so they can also provide that value to the industry. Right. So the leader does all of that. They do all of it. They do the copywriting. They do the campaign development. They do the strategy sessions. They do the mentoring. They do the pages. They do the value. They do everything. It's like they roll out the red carpet and say, here's the business, right? Now, but it's not about creating followers. It's about creating leaders. So the leader isn't interested in creating their disciples, right? That's the ego side, right? The true leader wants to be able to lift the people up, to give them wings so that they can fly on their own, right? So eventually they will come up with their own brands. They will come up with their own, they will be leaders of themselves, doing value, doing stuff for their teams.
So recently, about 2 months ago, you rolled out a campaign that resulted in like $770,000, and all of it happened pretty much without spending any money on paid advertising. Now,
not pretty much. It all happened without spending any money on paid advertising.
It all happened. All the $770,000 in 2 months happened without spending a penny on paid marketing. How does it work? I mean, how does it happen?
Well, the first thing that I typically do is that I share with people my own story, because when people come from those industries, real estate, mortgage broker, insurance agent, automotive, retail, right, they can relate because that's where I came from.
Yeah.
So I had to go through a paradigm shift myself.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it's not enough to watch it once, Vitaliy. It's not enough. Okay.
The training. Yeah.
It's not enough. Okay. Because it doesn't absorb. It's like the suntan lotion. It doesn't absorb.
I watched probably like, I don't know, 5 times or 6 times all of the trainings and been on the live trainings with you. I'm like, I'm soaked it in, everything you've been teaching.
So it's really at the 6th time. Okay. Somebody says, well, I watched the training 3 times. Well, you didn't watch it enough. Okay. 6 times. There's literally like a switch internally inside the body that goes, it's a switch that flicks when you go, oh, I get it. Oh my God. And then it's like, why did I get it for so long? Right?
Right.
You have to reprogram your program.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, if you've been been alive for 25, 35, 45, 55, 65 years of a certain type of programming, we have to reprogram the program. Okay, so there's a number of things that I do. There's a number of things that I recommend. There's the training itself, but then there's also specific audios that I recommend, meditations that I recommend, so that it's almost like peeling back an onion. So you peel back these layers of the onion. They peel back until you get to the core of the onion, right?
Yeah.
Very, very similar to that. And it takes work. There's assignments to do. Like we just had an assignment that we were talking about abundance, and I said, guys, I don't care if you want it or not. Doesn't matter to me. Okay? You need to make a trip to the Bentley dealership. You need to go through a whole visualization process and open up your senses the sound of your shoes walking to the car, the feeling. Don't open up the car door fast. Open up very slowly. Feel the feeling in your hand. Get the woof of the leather. When you sit down, feel the oxygen hitting you on the side of the face, because all the high-end cars, when you shut the door, it goes boom, boom, against the side of the face. So you have to open up your senses, and then you have to actually sit in the car and become the car. Become the car. Morph into the car. Because everything carries a specific vibrational frequency, right? It holds a vibrational resonance to it. And when you surrender to the car, the frequency of that car transfers over into your body, and now you leave there, you're a different person, okay? People will some people will do the assignment, but they won't do the actual real assignment, and that's opening up their senses, right? So things like that. Now, a lot of people go, well, it's an hour away. I'm not going to, right? The victim. That's the victim.
Oh, so many people are victims, right? So many people are victims.
It's 2 hours away. Okay, well, make it a day trip. You got 2 hours there. You got an hour and a half at the dealership, make it a whole event, do videos and everything else, get 2 hours back. Boom, done, right? But that's the difference between the victor and the victim. Oh. I can't do it. There's no Bentley dealership. Okay, well, make a trip. Make a weekend trip. Go away. Go, do a vacation trip, right? People are, it's like, here's the thing I'll tell you. The winner will always figure out a way to make it work. The winner. The whiner will always tell you the reason why it won't work. Well, that's good for you, but I don't have any contact. Right? I mean, it's brutal, right?
Right. So, it's working for you because you have a following on Facebook. I just have, started my Facebook account. I have 50 friends. How does that work for me?
Well, I mean, Eagle only had 100 friends when he started. He made $28,500 a month one because he didn't play the victim. He moved right into leadership. He moved right into personal development. He literally. Every day he was consuming personal development into his mind, but as he was learning, he was sharing.
Yeah.
You've got to learn, right? And then you implement, and then you share your results. That's how you move into leadership.
I've been doing it for years, like learning something, reading something, watching, then creating a video around it, creating content around it, just sharing it back to the marketplace.
And it's a very, very easy formula, Vitaliy, and the biggest problem that people go through is the fear of being judged, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge, huge problem. That's like the wall of what doesn't allow people to go to the next level, right? So what happens? People have to literally reach their fuck it point. They have to reach the point where they draw a line in the sand and they say, well, no longer stand for this in my life any longer, and raise their standards. That's when things change. That's when they get their breakthrough. It doesn't happen until then. Until then, they're literally like, here's the wall, and they're like brushing up against the wall. It will not happen until that person, bam!
I gotta change my life. I gotta, there's all those stuff happening. Like for me, I hit this wall a couple of years ago. Like I had to change my life. I didn't want to go and be an employee of somebody. I was sick and tired of working at low-paying jobs, and I said, you know what? I'm going to quit the university. I'm going to focus on the internet, and I'm going to make it happen no matter what. I'm going to die in front of the computer until it happens. That's the kind of attitude you gotta have when you have your back against the wall and you have no plan B's, and you're like, this is it. I'm going to make it happen, and you're going for it.
Here's the thing that people don't. That there's this evolution. Okay, so phase one in this evolution is just to reach that fucking point. Reach that point where you just draw a line in the sand. Okay. The next thing that you have to do is you have to focus on the pain of the market. That automatically puts you as a leader, right? So once you start to focus on the pain of the market, you generate a huge amount of leads, okay? Then you've got to be able to build a relationship with those people. Now, for me, the best way to do that is in a personal development group on Facebook, right? Then what I do is I take them from that. It's like a little, incubator. It's a little incubator, right? And I pull from the incubator into Meet With Me Live. Now they can meet with me live, okay? And now I can build a connection with them because we can actually have a conversation, right? Yeah. Now, once you do that and you start getting some success under your belt and you start getting a little bit of income, now you move into branding, right? So now you've got your branding with the pain thing that you're solving, the branding with your webinar that you're going to invite the people to. So it's all about the pain. But then after that, it goes into joint venture partnerships where leaders partner up with other leaders to create more value, to do another webinar to create more value, right? And they can offer bigger bonuses if you join their team, right? That's the next level. And then the next level after that is events, where you're hosting events and you're coordinating the leaders together and you're taking people to their personal breakthrough. You're training them. You're sharing your knowledge and expertise and helping them solve their pain, but you're also getting paid for it, right? So it's kind of different levels of advancement. Most people never get out of the first part, right, which is just recruiting, right? They never get out of that because they never actually move into leadership.
Yeah.
But if you just do these steps, first thing, reach your fucking point. Second part, you've got to start focusing on the pain of the market. Once you get a little bit of success, you've got to be able to build relationships, corral those people, bring them to a webinar. Then you've got to be able to get some success story. Then you've got to actually start to partner with other leaders, and then eventually you're going to be doing events. That's kind of the evolution of the progress of what it takes actually to get to 7 figures and beyond.
So talk about a little bit about the value of mentorship. I mean, what mentorship has done for you personally, and why do you believe everybody needs to have a mentor?
Okay. So typically what happens is that we all battle this, okay? Trust me, because I went through this whole process too, right? We all have this ego, okay? And the ego is kind of a double-edged sword because the ego wants to keep us safe,
right?
But the ego also wants to say, oh, I got a better way. Well, I don't know about that, right? I don't know if that's the right way. I got a better way, right? So it's this. Okay, that's the ego, okay? So the mentor is the person that's like the minesweeper. So imagine you're in the military, you're going to cross this 100 yards of mines. You can't see them. They're buried, right?
Right.
So the person that's in their ego goes, oh, come on, I could do this. Right? And they blow up, right? Next guy comes, oh, I could do this too, right? Boom, 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 boom. And they blow up, right? But the smart person gets behind the minesweeper. The minesweeper just goes across the whole thing. Oh, don't step there. Don't step there, right? And the person goes safely all the way across to the other side, right? That's the difference. That's mentorship. So the ego goes, I don't need that guy. I'm not going to spend that money on mentorship. I'm going to go buy this program, right? But they got nobody to talk to. So they're trying to figure it all out, right? So they attend a webinar, they attend this, they go to YouTube, they try and do research, right? But there's so many moving parts to really grasp this whole thing. And it's so simple that people typically don't want things to be simple. They want things to be complicated.
I like things to be simple, but people tend to overcomplicate it. Yeah.
Yes, they go, oh, it could never be that simple. Darren, so you mean if I do A, B, C, D, and E, I'm gonna become yes. You mean all I got to do is this, and this? Yes. Oh, come on, that could never work, right? I have this one program, Vitaliy, that takes people through. It's called Unleash the Alpha Within, and it takes people through these very, very simple techniques that they have to do in order to never ever have to worry about money again for the rest of their life. Okay. So in beta, when I was in beta, I would actually, somebody would be in pain and I would say, well, hey, just do these, these simple steps, right? And I would give them the training just to see so I could get a testimonial.
Right.
So, maybe 90 days would go by, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. And I go, well, did you go through this step? Did you complete the simple steps? Well, no, I didn't think it would work. Are you for real? Because it's too easy. It's too easy. Their brain can't digest that it could possibly be that easy, so they don't even do it. They disregard it, right? They disregard it. So the difference between mentorship and no mentorship is this area over here actually costs you way more, okay, in emotional frustration, relationship frustration, potentially even a divorce, right? And financial, because you never know. It's like going into a black hole.
Right.
Right? And the internet is so vast, you can watch a sales presentation get taken right down a rabbit hole, and now you're spending more money and you don't even know if you're going on the right path, right? The mentor can say, oh, no, don't do that. You're not ready for that. Oh, no, don't do that. You're going to waste your money there, right? So mentorship really helps you to fast track. So what's the better strategy? Waste the next 5, 10 years of burning money and frustrated, or just taking the fast track like the elevator right to the top? Look what happened with you. You went to go with like 0 to 65,000 in 6 weeks, right? A lot of people don't even make that, Vitaliy, an entire year.
That's crazy.
They didn't even make that. They didn't make that in a whole year working full time, right? So when you came to me and you said, Darren, can you take me to the next level? I said, absolutely I can, right? Absolutely, 100%, right? I don't even think you believed what could happen when you learned these skills. Be honest.
No,
You didn't believe that with no traffic, with no paid ads, with no marketing budget, that in 6 weeks you could make $65,000.
I'm like, I was totally blown away, and I was not thinking about like that back then, that it was even possible. I had this dream to make it happen one day. I didn't know how I was going to make it, but I was stuck at 10,000, 8,000. I was stuck at this level, and I wanted the breakthrough, and I like, okay, let's try doing things a little bit differently. Let's actually listen to, because I was like seeing you go from starting this campaign and then bam, 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 $5,000, $10,000 days, creating $105,000 in 30 days. I'm like, this is happening. if Darren can do it, I mean, if I'm going to learn from somebody, I'm going to learn it from somebody who goes from 0 to 100,000 in 1 month, doing it without paid ads. I mean, if I can master that, what I don't worry about money again ever. Like I know that it's coming, it's flowing from multiple sources in abundance, because I got it. I really got it.
And that's the thing, Vitaliy. It's that it doesn't take a long time. You don't need a university education. You don't need massive talent and skills. Okay. But what you do need is you need to be able to surrender your pride and your ego, number one, be coachable, show up, and do the assignments. That's it.
That's
right?
it.
And anybody, I don't care if they're bankrupt, they could be, right out of prison, they could be a kid, they could be a senior citizen, okay? Once you learn about the polarity in here, you've got an internal polarity inside your body, and it doesn't flick until you watch that training 6 times minimum, okay? So people that have made a lot of money, right, typically will tell me, oh, Darren, I'll be honest with you, I watched the training like 12 times, right? because something it's like on a cellular level. It's a cellular level, right? And people really, it's like osmosis. So when they really get that and they surrender to that, they just trust it. All you got to do is just trust the process, right? And if you do that, you'll never ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life.
Now, why do you call like your group Quantum Millionaire? Like, why you put a lot emphasis on the word quantum a lot of times that I see?
We're in a personal development business model. I went through I started in my 20s with Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins gave me massive breakthroughs with goal setting and, really stepping into personal power. That in my opinion is phase one. Okay. But there was still something missing. It's like, you feel something internally inside, like, I don't have it all, right?
Yeah.
So in my 30s, I worked for almost 3 years with Dr. Lee Poulos, and he opened up a whole other gateway to the subconscious mind, core beliefs about money, the human condition, how we're programmed. The human brain is actually programmed to self-destruct, right? And 80% of our thoughts every day are negative. A lot of people don't even know this. 80%. And that's the baseline, right?
Yeah.
So we're on a slippery slope just with day-to-day activities, right? With 80% being negative. So I learned a lot about the power of visualization, visioning, right? Vision boards, how to access and open up the gateway. But still, and he taught me a lot about guided visualization, self-hypnosis, things like that. But there was still a missing link, right? And then in my 40s, I worked for 2 years with Dr. Darren, and that was the gateway. That was like putting the Rubik's Cube together for the final thing. And what I learned about was really stems from the wave particle theory. And it really stems from how is the reality even created in the first place, with our thoughts, our words, our emotions. And I learned about the equation for manifestation. I learned about the secret beyond the secret, the attracting force, and really on how to manifest anything like that. Like a flash of light, right? And every time in my life, because we all come up against these life challenges, roadblocks, things that, right? But I can tell you that I always go back to my roots. Always go back to my roots. Tony Robbins, Dr. Poulos, Dr. Darren. Those are the milestone moguls of my personal development career. And then Harvey Conner was my original millionaire mentor, and David Moses. And they opened up the gateway from the personal or the network marketing side. But the quantum, and if you're watching this call right now and you have not watched What the Bleep Do We Know, Down the Rabbit Hole, it has to be the quantum edition. Okay, not the regular one, the quantum edition.
Joe Dispenza?
No, this is a movie. I don't know who actually made the movie. He could be on the movie, but I can tell you that the first time you watch that movie, you will literally go like, holy crap, right? That's the first time, okay? It's never enough, okay? If you really want to get something that's this significant, you have to watch it multiple times. Have to, mandatory, right? Before it actually goes through the osmosis process. So that movie, and then also the book called Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Once you really understand about the emotional scale, vibrational frequency, how we're all radio broadcast stations, right? Coming through thought-directed, emotion-generating feeling that's going out and communicating with the electrons. This is next level stuff. This is like beyond the matrix, okay? And once a person understands how this actually works, it's like cracking the Rubik's Cube and opening the vault, and then you open up this gateway to infinite possibilities. Now, here's the challenge, Vitaliy. The challenge, my friend, is that there's different levels of the game, right? There's different levels. And as you go through these different levels, you're given more power. It's like, you become like a superhero, right? And you're tested every stage of the way that you go up on whether or not you're going to be a humble servant leader, or will you become your ego, okay? Now, if you've ever watched Spider-Man, there was one movie where Spider-Man had the black suit, right? And this tar came over and took over his face, and he got the black suit for Superman. It can feel pretty good. It can feel pretty good, when everybody's telling you how great you are and, bowing down to you and all this stuff. And if it starts to take over, right, who you are, whack, you get a major universal smackdown, and you get sent back to the first level of the game because you didn't get the lesson. So big, it's nasty. I mean, I've watched people that I've helped go from 0 to 100,000 in 90 days. They become their ego, okay? 90 days later, they're calling me saying, Darren, I messed up.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And they've spent all the money, right? They spent all the money, and they were out celebrating and doing this, and they bought a car, they bought a house, and now all of a sudden they're in their SOL, right? Because they became their ego, okay? The universe goes whack. Now all the clients start going, there's chargebacks happening on their stuff, and now they're in a real bind because now they got a financial responsibility. They got to take care of a family, right? They've just made all this financial commitment for all this new stuff that they was stroking their ego, and now they're in hot water, right? So it's really, really important. And everybody's got a different number of Vitaliy. Okay, so if I said to you, okay, so you made 65,000 in 6 weeks. Okay, cool. Now, what would happen if you made 65,000 in a day? And it happened for 7 days in a row. And now you're at 500,000 in a week. I don't know. We won't know. We won't know, man. We will not know until it actually happens. And a lot of people say, oh, Darren, that would never happen to me. Really? Have you ever made $250,000 in a day? Have you made $500,000 a day? We'll see. We'll see. You don't know. Trust me. When you can go pay cash for a Ferrari, pay 300 grand for a Ferrari, cash, you don't know until it actually happens.
There's nothing wrong with paying cash for a Ferrari. I mean, if you can afford.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and people don't get it until it actually happens. And I'll tell you what, the ego kind of creeps in and if you haven't watched that Spider-Man movie, guys, I highly recommend you go get that movie so you can see the difference between his red suit and his black suit, okay? Because they portray it as science fiction, okay? Trust me, it's not science fiction. That's real, okay? And that ego will kind of creep in like this, and it will take over. It will take over. And if you become your ego, whack! It's nasty, bro. It's nasty. So the interesting thing is that most people, Vitaliy, they never get out of the first level. Victimhood. They never escape. They die in victimhood. They die there. There's only about 10% of the human population that actually advances past that.
Yeah, and that is sad. That is sad. I wanted to kind of understand what was going on in your mind. Like a couple months ago when you first kind of put like, okay, I'm going to roll the campaign. I'm going to call it Black Ops Underground Marketing. Like what it means to you, like, and what was kind of going through your head, because now it became very, very popular, and people created so many success stories. Like, what makes the difference there, and what kind of, for people like, okay, I want to be part of that. Like what is going to do for me, and kind of how you think about it.
Okay. You know, one thing that I'll tell you about human beings, right, is that human beings always want to know what they can't know. Right? They always want to know, you know, like what really goes on behind the scenes, like with, you know, like the CIA and the
secret and underground, right? Yeah.
Underground. It's like the stealth, right? Like there's a lot of things that go on in the world, right, with the elites, with the Illuminati, that people don't even know that's actually really going on, right? But people really want to know. They really want to know. They're curious. They want to get those insider secrets, right?
Right.
And the thing that I'll share with you, Vitaliy, is that most seven-figure income earners, they don't want you to know what we know. They don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that they actually don't even do the model that they're telling everybody else to do. They have this thing going on behind a veil, right, on how they generate their list for free, how they do like CPA offers and PayPal products and JVZoo deals and ClickBank on the front end to generate all this cash. And then, so when they go into do a campaign and they put 20, 30, 40, $50,000 into traffic, it doesn't even feel like it's their own money because they got this little ATM machine going, but they don't want to teach you that.
Right.
When they get you into the deal, it's like, oh yeah, well, keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize. Yeah, go to buy your traffic for that deal. They don't tell you what they do. They don't tell you. They don't want you to know. Because see, when most people get into a business, they're not advanced enough. It's like mind power. Their brain doesn't have a big enough capacity to be able to handle so many things and understand the intricacies of how that whole matrix works. Okay. Right. So what I do is I break it down into real basics. Okay. So what I learned coming from marketing and advertising is that if your message does not communicate to a 5-year-old child, you just lost 95% of your entire marketplace. Okay? Yes. So what I do is I take the training into basics that anybody can learn. Even a 5-year-old kid can learn how to become a top recruiter, right? But the whole concept of Black Ops Underground, when you think of Black Ops, they appear out of nowhere. They're just like, right? And this stuff, it's like everybody's going like, what happened? Right? Right? If you ever watched, Bourne, the Jason Bourne series, or James Bond, or, some of these stealth, like the stealth guys, right? The guys that are the ninjas, yeah. They literally appear out of nowhere. They're just like, right? And they're gone. Right? Like, what happened? And everybody's in the room and they're all dead, right? What happened? Right? So, but people want to know what they can't know. They want to know the secrets that nobody else knows. They want that advantage. They want the cutting edge. And what I typically do, Vitaliy, before I roll out anything, and this comes from 26 years of being in the marketing industry, is that I always test things. I don't roll out a campaign without having tested it, right?
Yeah.
So before I even came out with Black Ops, this is before I even rolled out the Black Ops campaign, I was doing a testing where on Facebook, I would write in the copy, and I would kind of I would open up the vault on this side, but there was this stealth side on the other side. So here's what I would say. Hey guys, listen, I'm just rolling out this underground marketing campaign, okay? I don't even know if this is going to work. Okay, I'm just doing some testing right now, okay? But who here would be interested if I was to tell you exactly how much money I spent, exactly how many leads I generated from the money, exactly how many people converted, and how much of it turned into cash flow? Would anybody be interested in that? I am, right? Well, interesting. Okay, so what people really want is they want to know this other side, right? They don't want the promo side. They want to know the behind-the-scenes stealth side. Like, what was the psychology behind your creative campaign? Why did you write the copy the way that you wrote it? What were the key points that you were covering that you knew by writing that copy that there was going to be people that were going to call you, right? What was the colors that you used? Why did you bold this section? What was the whole thing? What did you use for your lead magnet to get people to give you the information, right? That's what they want to know.
Yeah.
They don't want to know the other side. They don't want to get in now, lock your spot, right? Those are all the broke people over there, right? What they want to know is they want to know this side, the underground side, the psychology behind the development of the campaign. So I thought, that was my test. So I did a bunch of tests, a bunch of them, okay? And they kept on coming back the same. So then I had an audience to give my results to. Because they all said that they wanted to see, I want to see how it's all done. So I brought them all together, and then I performed it, and then I said, well, here's the results. Who wants to participate? And they went, I do, right? And that formula worked really, really well. So then I thought, interesting. So then I started to piggyback, this is called piggyback marketing. I started to piggyback off of Tom Cruise, right? For his Mission Impossible, or James Bond, right? For his whole campaign, right? And then we piggybacked, and then I thought, well, what can I call this? Well, Black Ops. And Black Ops is like, the underground of that's like the top guys of the CIA. Those are Black Ops, right? They just do stuff that's like, next level stuff, right? Stuff you see in the movies. It's like the Jason Bourne. And here's the funny thing. When Jason Bourne was typing into the computer, guess what came up? Black Ops. So I haven't seen the movie yet, right? But so I thought, okay, I'm going to test this. So when I tested it, first round, right? So this is actually a secondary campaign based upon all my testing. Always testing, Vitaliy. As a marketer, all you got is testing.
I think you like overcame like your own expectation of how well it's going to work, huh?
Originally, I'll tell you what. Originally, I thought, if I could do like 50,000, right? Yeah. I'm gonna complete flat start, not spending any money on advertising. I hit 50. I thought that would be pretty good. Actually, hit 108. Just on the one campaign. That's since gone up to, we're right around 140 right now. But that's just one income stream. There's other ones that I'm working on as well. But this one has become the funding mechanism. So other programs that I'm in, I just go by traffic. The traffic goes into the funnel, and the funnel falls up, right? And then I put them back into a group, right? Yeah. This one, it way over exceeded my expectations. And I can tell you that what it's told me, though, okay, because it's all about market testing, Vitaliy. What it's told me is that the market needs this information. So now what we're doing is we're putting together a training site so that everybody in the marketplace can get access to really understand the psychology. These are strategies, Vitaliy, that forget about network marketing here. I've used these in real business to raise tens of millions of dollars for real companies. Okay. And that's what people are going to learn. So that's why I'm so excited about this, because we're now moving into phase 3. Actually phase 4, because I've done pre-testing, and that went for about probably 8-9 months. And then I did another round of testing under Black Ops. And then I did the big one with Black Ops. Now we're moving into the next one, which is going to go, right? So I'm flying to the Philippines to spend 6 months, or 6 weeks rather, with Ari, and we're rolling out a full. I'm excited. That's all I can tell you. I'm fired up there, because I know how many lives we're going to change. It's not even about us.
Right.
It's not even about us. I mean, honestly, Ari and I can do anything, and we can make millions. It's not about that. It's about those stories. It's about your story. It's about John's story. It's about Eagle's story. It's about Robbie's story. It's about Kim's story, Michelle's story. It's about the single mom with 2 kids. It's about the part-time worker, the engineer that wants that wants to buy a house. That's why we do this. That's our driving force, right? I believe that we were put on this planet. If you're a real leader in this industry, you were put on this planet to transform people's lives. That's why you're here, is to transform people's lives, to take them to that next level breakthrough. And that's really what we're all about.
So what is the vision moving forward, like in the next several months? I know that we already tested the marketplace. People really want this information. They want to get the transformation happening. Like they've seen so many success stories out there. Like, what is the next phase? Like you talk about the phase number 4. Like, what's going to happen that you think in the next several months, coming to the close of 2016 and moving beyond to 2017?
Well, what we're going to be doing, Vitaliy, is we're going to be putting together a monthly membership site. The monthly membership site will have, basic training, mid-level training, and advanced training. It will also give the ability for people to open up a gateway to millionaire mentoring. And then higher than that is the Unleash the Alpha Within program. And then higher than that is the live events that will, where the live leadership events, where we'll be taking people through their transformational breakthrough. There'll probably be 1-week events, and they'll probably be held in tropical locations.
Wow.
So there'll be merchandise and all sorts of things that we'll be rolling out. But this is really something that keep in mind. I mean, I've been in this industry for 26 years. Ari's probably been in for 30 years, right? And this is, I believe, the missing link to the entire industry, right across the board, right? Of network marketing, direct sales, home-based business, affiliate marketing. It's really the missing glue, right? That can help, instead of it being 3% success, 97% failure, right? I believe that if people learned this right out of the gate, those numbers would flip to 97% and 3% failure, right? Yeah. Because these are skills that not only change your business, change your finance, but they also change your marriage. I mean, people that have been my students have actually been divorced and remarried their wives. I mean, imagine that. I mean, imagine what it would be like you're divorced from somebody
what did you do to
4 years and you remarry them, right? People that have had long lost, relationships with their sister or their brother or their parents have been able to repair those and bring the family unit back together, right? So that is, I had this one student of mine, she was a CFO, Chief Financial Officer. She was making $100,000 a year in 60 days. 60 days, Vitaliy. She got a $212,000 raise at her corporate job. Now, have you ever heard of anybody going from 100 to 312,000 at the same job?
Right.
Right? And then Following our Facebook formula, she got a call from her local chamber of commerce. They paid her $5,200 for 1 hour to do a keynote speech, and she's never done public speaking.
Wow.
How does that stuff happen? You know what I mean? That's the power of what we're doing. That's the power. And it's transferable. These are transferable skills. And when one of the people in Black Ops, he sends me this long testimonial. He says, Darren, I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't really focused on Black Ops, but I want to tell you that I took the formula that you taught me. I went to a networking function. I wasn't focusing on pitching anybody. I was just focusing on their pain. He ended up getting multiple consulting contracts for $8,000 each. The following month, he says he's going to bill out $20,000 to $30,000. Plus, he's closing a $2 million acquisition deal for his corporation. All from what he learned in Black Ops.
Wow. It's amazing. Right now, people actually get millionaire mentoring when they become part of Black Ops for free, pretty much, right? That's what's happening right now?
Right now, we do have a campaign running. I can't guarantee that it's going to run forever, but right now it is running. Typically when people get millionaire mentoring, they pay $1,000 US per session, or $10,000 once per week over the course of a 3-month period of time.
Right.
And they do get that as a bonus. It's a $10,000 real. This is a real deal, guys. This is not something made up. Okay, people really pay us that. It's $10,000 US bonus that they get when they join, and not at any lower levels, but when they join at $1,349. That's not going to last forever. Okay, I can tell you that. Okay, we will be using that and all those trainings will be recording. Those will go into the vault, right? The training vault, and then people will have the ability to do a monthly membership on the training vault. But if you're watching this video right now, and the bonus is still open, I can tell you that we have a formula here that can completely and totally change every aspect of your life, okay? And if we can help 17-year-old kids make $35,000 in the very first month, why not you? Why not you, right? So surrender your pride, surrender your ego, throw your hat over the wall. If you're seeing this video on a page, all I can tell you is this. The moment that you click that button, the moment that you throw your hat over the wall, the moment that you trust this process, that there's people out there in the world that genuinely want to help you. Okay, a lot of people might not believe that. A lot of times you watch a video, you watch a presentation, and something inside of you says, oh, this person just wants my money. It's not like that here. Okay, trust me, we don't need that. Ari and I can go out and make millions and millions of dollars on anything that we do. Once you understand these principles, it doesn't matter what you market. It doesn't matter what you do. There's a whole different vibration. It's like a radio broadcast frequency that you tune into, and you're in universal abundance after that, right? Yeah. It's getting from where you are to that point. That's the evolution, right? And that's what happened for Vitaliy, right? 10,000 and 65,000. Right, in a very, very short period of time, and he didn't spend half that on paid traffic. So these are strategies that are tried, tested, and proven. They're strategies that can work for anyone, as long as you surrender your pride and your ego, as long as you show up, as long as you're coachable, and as long as you will do the homework, right? Because there is homework, guys, in millionaire mentoring. There is homework. Okay, so Vitaliy, it's been a pleasure. Excited for you, brother. I'm fired up. Good job. Proud of you.
Well, thank you so much, Darren, for this amazing interview. I thought initially it was going to be about 30 minutes, but I think over-delivered here with so much information. I think people's hands are exploding right now. And they are like made a whole paradigm shift right now. And just the thought of it, to be able to get access to millionaire mentoring for free and get $10,000 in a bonus, and get closer to the strategies that you teach and combine 26 years of experience. And I mean, that was a no-brainer to me. And that's totally life-changing. I know that people, when they learn this stuff, when they learn this information, they are going to change their lives. Any last, I want to ask you for your vision, but I think maybe we should cut here because you can there's a lot of things. But any last thought that you have for people that might be thinking, well, you don't know my situation, can I really do it? If they look at them in the eye and say, you know what, man, it's time to step up. It doesn't matter where you are. You can do this.
Well, the thing that I'll tell you on that vitality gets back to really reaching that, drawing the line in the sand. There's different levels of the game. And the majority of people, guys, don't take this the wrong way, okay? Because we all go through this. This is part of the evolution. We start off as victims. We start off feeling that the world is doing stuff to us, right?
Yeah.
And it's not until we actually go through the spiral, which is the bridge between level 1 and level 2, right? And the whole world starts imploding. That includes, bankruptcy, home foreclosure, car repo, divorce, right? Custody battle, right? Car accident, health issues, deaths in the family. Those are all part of that spiral to propel that person into stepping into their power so they can release the Pandora's box here and go to the next level. So what I'll share with you about that is that you have to trust the process. You have to believe in every cell of your body that there's really people out there that really want to help you, right? You're not put on this world to suffer. Okay, that's not your purpose here on this planet. You know deep inside of you, if you're watching this video all the way to the very end, you know that you're destined for more. You know that you have that power inside you. A lot of people are scared of their power. They have that power and they're kind of scared of it, right? They know how powerful they are, right? But there's this little barrier between that you've got to break through and go over to the other side and just trust the process. And that requires surrendering your pride, surrender your ego, and just show up. 80% of success is showing up. 80%. 80%. Okay? And I will tell you that if you just show up, you will get to your breakthrough. 100%.
Absolutely, Darren. It's been such a pleasure to be here with you and interview you, and I hope you guys got so much value out of this. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Darren or to me, and to really believe in yourself, because this is one life that you're living. Live it to the fullest, give it your all, and you deserve to be it all and have it all in life and have all the abundance and freedom, success and prosperity. It's all waiting for you for grabs, because the universe is abundant, and abundance is your birthright. So thank you, Darren, so much, and I'll see you guys and talk to you soon.
Cool.